will be a light for all the world to see, a reflection of you and never me. You have set me free. Oh, I never knew how much I needed you, and you've opened my eyes and touched my heart, showed me who you are. You are forever, you are the one, light in the darkness, you are the Son of God, you are the keeper of my heart. You are forever, you are the one, light in the darkness, you are the Son of God, you are the keeper of my heart. I've walked a million miles in these shoes, I'll walk a million more after you, so I can live safe inside your arms. I've walked a million miles in these shoes, I'll walk a million more after you, so I can live safe inside your arms. You are forever, you're the one, light in the darkness, you are the Son of God, you are the keeper of my heart. You are forever, you're the one, light in the darkness, you are the Son of God, you are the keeper of my heart. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Years ago, a future was laid before me, and I took the task and ran with it. As far as I could go, I always wanted to be a part of something like this. You are here with me, and it's all I needed. Before I go, please know that I love you with all of my heart. I want you to know that I'll be thinking of you wherever I go. Tonight, I am standing with you, a chance to change your world as we know it. The feeling of lights upon me feels so perfect. You believed in me, and it's all I need. Before I go, please know that I love you with all of my heart. I want you to know that I'll be thinking of you wherever I go. How is everyone? Everyone's good. Hey, sorry I didn't make it here on, what day was that, Monday? Yeah. My youngest was sick, and we took him home and to the doctor, and he had strep throat, and he's doing just fine now. So thank you for your prayers. I appreciate that. And also thank you for being so understanding with the whole thing of like, hey, what's up? I'm not going to be there tomorrow. So thank you for that, and thank you guys for coming back. Thanks for rearranging stuff to make it to where I could be here tonight. It is so good to be here. It's good to have another place in this world to be able to come and play and hang out and get to know other people. So thank you for being here. Give yourselves a hand if you would. So I always give this, I say always, maybe it's been like the past 6 months. I give this disclaimer, and normally I do it before the first song, but I'll go ahead and do it now that we're 2 songs in. I will play some songs maybe you've heard before, maybe you haven't. I will play some songs you might like and some you might not. So we're already here, and we're 2 songs in, and I haven't seen the doors open too much for people leaving, so that's good. So it's a good to be here. I'm going to go ahead and just play a few more songs that might be known a little bit by a couple of people here. So here's an older tune. Yet another day seems like it's wasted. You don't feel you're any closer to the prize. A dead-end job where there's no future. Praying that tomorrow things won't be this way. Things will get better, this I promise you, and I know you won't feel this way forever. Things will get better, this I promise you, and I know loneliness won't last forever. Yet another day, another tired morning, and you're catching up to your intention, and you're praying, and you're praying. Maybe tomorrow things won't be this way. Things will get better, this I promise you, and I know you won't feel this way forever. Things will get better, this I promise you, and I know we can find a way to make it better. Get I those windows look awesome. That's what I keep looking at. I'm like, here's a song I didn't write. I wish I did. To the young people in the room, don't ask me if I wrote this song later tonight, because I promise every time I play it, I say, hey, I didn't write this song. I wish I did. I didn't write this song. I wish I did. I will go to the merch table afterwards, and some teenager will be like, hey man, that one song that you said whatever a few times, did you write that? No, I didn't. Highway run into the midnight sun. Wheels go round and round on my mind. Restless hearts sleep alone tonight. Sitting all my love on the wire. They say that the road ain't no place to start a family. Right down the line, it's been you and me. Love and the music, man, ain't always what it's supposed to be. Oh, girl, you stand by me. I'm forever yours, faithfully. Circus of life under the big top world. We all need the clouds to make us smile. Through space and time, it's always another show. Wondering where I am, lost without you. And being apart ain't easy on this love affair. Two strangers learn to fall in love again. I get the joy of rediscovering you. Oh, girl, you stand by me. I'm forever yours, faithfully. Whoa, 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 I'm still yours. This is it's the first time I've ever had the pleasure of playing between two lions. So I couldn't believe it when I was actually asked if I wanted to be here between the lions or down there. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's the lions. Thanks for the coffee. Tastes great. Thanks for the mug. I'm not saying thank you because I'm taking it. I'm saying thank you for letting me use the mug. Does 80s music go over okay here? Just checking. whenever I'm alone with you. You make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am whole again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am young again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am fun again. However far away, I will always love you. However long I stay, I will always love you. Whatever words I say, I will always love you. I will always love you. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am free again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am clean again. However far away, I will always love you. However long I stay, I will always love you. Whatever words I say, I will always love you. I will always love you. Thank you. So a few years ago, we were in Germany, and we had the opportunity to play this, I believe it was 800-year-old cathedral, right? Pretty old. When I'm looking through here, it's what I see. I feel like I'm in that spot. We did an acoustic set there, and the acoustics of that 800-year-old stone building was amazing. And so what I'm hearing here is kind of the same thing. So thank you for making this room sound so good, because it sounds really good. I like singing in like theaters and stuff because of the acoustics and whatever, and so it feels good here. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. No, it's trust me, it's much cooler for me to be here than it is for you to have me here. I promise you that. So I never walk on stage with a set list in my head or on the ground or whatever. I just kind of try to play based on the room and how the room feels. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this tune because I feel like it might go over kind of okay here. Just gonna play it. Is that cool? Would you be free from your burden of sin? There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you know evil a victory wonderful power in the blood. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. All right, calm down. Calm down. That's awesome. Did you say play it again? I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Sing it. I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly up. So, okay, all right. So next time I come, next time we'll just do an old hymn set. Is that cool? You know what's funny is I was in Indiana, small town, northeast Indiana, Walcottville. A guy named Jim, who's completely amazing, brought me in to do guest worship at this church. He's like, well, our pastor is wanting to take a vacation day, so he's going fishing, and so it's all yours, right? I'm like, okay. All right. And anyway, he sent me a bulletin, like legitimate bulletin that was what the plan was going to be for that day, right? And I got the bulletin, and he sent me 2 prepaid gas cards, which was so smart of him because of how much it was going to cost me to get there and back, right? I'm like, that's crazy. He sent gas cards. That's amazing, right? Anyway, he also sent a bulletin. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh, cool, bulletin. Put it down on my dresser and went on about my life. Went on tour, came back, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to be in Walcottville. I'm doing this on this weekend. I took off driving. I drove overnight to get there, and that morning, we're kind of talking through the order of service, and he's like, okay, so this, I'll introduce you. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, what, I didn't ask, what praise hymn are you wanting to do? I'm like, what do you mean, like what, just like kind of like what, worship tune? He's like, no, one from the hymnal. Like, I didn't see it in the bulletin that he sent me weeks ago, right? I'm like, maybe how about Power in the Blood? He's like, okay, Power in the Blood. And so we're looking for it in this hymn book. I'm like, Power in the Blood. What kind of church is this? It's like it's not in here, right? And so we're looking through, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to run and set up merchandise real quick, and I'll be back. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll Google the lyrics, and I'll get it up on the slides. And I hadn't seen the lyrics to this song since I was literally 17 years old in a Baptist church in Lowell, Arkansas, right? I had not seen these lyrics, right, to Power in the Blood. And he walks up to me at the merch table. He says, it's been like 10 minutes. He walks up. He's like, there's Power in the Blood. I'm like, okay. He's like, there's Power in the Blood. And I'm like, there is. He's like, no, it's not Power in the Blood in the hymnal. There is Power in the Blood in the hymnal. I'm like, oh. I'm like, why are you telling me this? But there is. It's pretty important when you're trying to look for something. And he was like, no, the title of the song is There Is Power in the Blood, not just Power in the Blood. That's why you couldn't find it in the hymnal. I'm like, I'm a complete idiot. So if you're looking for that song, know what you're looking for. Anyway, so I started playing it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll have the lyrics, so I'll just kind of try to remember. I'm like, like Johnny Cash, like, would you be free from your burden? No. I didn't realize how low it was, even with the capo, right? I'm like, I sound so dumb right now. Like, anyway, they did every verse. I'm like, would you be wider, much wider? I'm trying to read ahead and stay ahead, and I don't know what I'm doing up here, so it was really difficult that morning, but it went fine and whatever. But I'm going to play this song. I played it in Oklahoma last night because the person who made this song kind of known is from there. And this is a love song, and it's a song that I think we can all relate to. It's another one that I didn't write, but I sure wish I did. I've been a walking heartache. I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I want to be, but you stay here right beside me. Watch as the storm blows through, and I need you. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think that I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing, a divine conspiracy, that you, an angel lovely, somehow fall for me. You'll always be love's great martyr, and I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think that I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. One 'cause we are stitched together, and what love has tethered, I pray we never undo. 'Cause God gave me up for the ups and downs. God gave me up for the days of doubt. But when I think that I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. Like, what are you doing? Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. That literally freaked me out. I was like, hey, security. Where are we at on that one? So I used to want to be a professional skateboarder more than anything ever. Like that's what I thought was going to happen with my life, and that wasn't. Yep, you didn't make it either, did you? So now I live through it on Instagram. Tony Hawk, Kristen Hosoi, Steve Caballero. So I used to skateboard outside this church all the time in Lowell, Arkansas. It's where I grew up from the age of 8 until I left on tour at the age of 19. And churches always have like the best concrete and the best asphalt, you know, and occasionally a church will build you a brick and mortar bench that you can skateboard on. And, you know, I'd always be skateboarding in the parking lot, and there's this one section that was in between two buildings, and it was covered from the rain and the wind, and they had one of those benches that they built for me. And I'd always be skateboarding on it, 50-50 grinds, no stalls, all this stuff is super loud, just so loud. And, you know, several times I would be skateboarding there, and this lady would come and open the side door, and she's like, hey, either come inside or leave because we're trying to have service. And I would be mad, of course, because she's interrupting my time. Anyway, this one day I was in the parking lot, and this kid came up to me. And I had been trying to learn heel flips for literally 3 months. I've been trying to learn heel flips. And this kid comes up. He's like, hey, can I see your board? I'm like, sure. He does a heel flip. He does it first try. I'm like, what? Does a heel flip? And he's like, yeah, the trick is to, like when you kick the board, just go ahead and turn your body like you know you're going to land on the board. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we're having some junk food inside if you're interested. And I'm a 14-year-old kid. I'm like, let's do it. So we walk into this big white building, right? And up until that point, I'd only skateboarded on their wooden wheelchair ramps, you know, and try to turn the corner before you flip off into the shrubs. And we walk up, and we go into this building, and it was a fellowship hall, right? And so tonight, when I see the fellowship hall, I'm like, oh, yeah. Anyway, I walk in, and it's really high ceilings, and it's got red carpet, and it has that brown paneling with the dark black stripes in it. And it, you know, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I've never been in here, but I'm so glad because it's a potluck dinner, right? And I'm like, what's this? So I partake of the potluck dinner, and I have people walking up to me. There's like 80, 85 people there of all ages. There's little kids like that stomping cookies into the carpet, and there's like 100-plus years old people in there. And I keep hearing, it's like, oh, you're the kid that's always skateboarding in the parking lot. Wow, you're welcome here anytime. It's so awesome that you're here. You know, and I would be thinking back, I'm like, I've been ran off from here 100 times. What are you talking about? Anyway, there's like, yeah, make sure you eat. And someone had approached me. It was that gray-haired lady who always ran me off. She walked up and was like, what's your name? I was like, Matt. She's like, Matt, it's so great to have you here. You're welcome here anytime. I'm like, what? Anyway, that night I heard that Jesus loved me and had a plan for my life. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I know what the plan is for my life. I'm gonna be a professional skateboarder. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I started going to church there on Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday evening for youth group. I really enjoyed it because I lived across the street in this trailer park, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. And so anything to be away from there is what I was all about, right? And so there was this, it was a trailer park, and then there was McClure Avenue, this little kind of two-lane whatever, no line, no dividing line, so it's like drive at your own risk thing. And then there's this triangle-shaped lawn, and then there was the church property, right? And so every Wednesday in the summertime, these guys would decide they're going to play what they called tag football, which always turned into rugby, right? And so I'm not about getting destroyed like that. And so I would be sitting on the cross ties watching. And I saw it as this guy, John, got his collarbone broken, like completely out of his body one night. And we're like, dude, I can't even see your collarbone. He's trying not to cry. This guy, Sam, he sprained his ankle terribly bad one night. Had a big game on Friday. He played football. And so I would see this stuff, and I was just like, this is hilarious. Like, this is awesome. So one night, it's after youth group, and picture the fellowship hall, the red carpet, the paneling, and there's a section of ceiling that hangs down where nowadays you would have a curtain that you would pull across. It would divide it, into whatever. But there was no curtain, so it was just this section that hung down. And this specific night after youth group, Johnny decides he's going to get a chair out, and he is going to impress the 15 teenage girls who are still there, who haven't been picked up yet. And so he gets a chair out, he puts it in the center of the room, and he starts jumping off this chair and tagging the ceiling, right? Because that's what impresses girls. I am sitting on a piano bench right here. And so Johnny jumps off, he's tagging the ceiling, and then Mitch gets up and he does it, and then Chris, and like all these guys are just jumping off this chair trying to impress the girls. Anyway, at one point, Johnny's little brother gets up and he flies off the chair, and he gets like an arm's length higher than all the guys and just sits down. And there's like 7 girls left now because they don't care, but I'm still sitting on this piano bench waiting on something awesome. So Johnny is frustrated with his little brother, and he jumps up, and he's going to give it one last hoorah. And he takes off and just bam, hits the chair. Chair goes out from under him. He is horizontal in the air. He's this. I can see the whites of his eyeballs. Anyway, Johnny hits the carpet with his arm first, and then his body weight on top of it. And so his arm comes over and up, and it is awesome. Like, I can still picture it so vividly. Just dislocate that elbow and jab it into his armpit, pretty much. And like he warps the ground, and he's laying there trying to like put it back, and like he's like all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, your arm is wrecked, right? And I'm like kind of sick at my stomach, but like that was awesome. And those 7 girls who are left just stand up, and they're like, psst, and just walk out, right? And I'm like, dude. And I knew at that moment I wanted to be around that type of person the rest of my life. I wanted to be around this group of people who not only did they love me for who I was, they didn't care. They didn't care where I came from. I had nothing to offer them. They welcomed me into their family, and they're like, we're so glad you're here. You're welcome here anytime. Jesus loves you, has a plan for your life. And I was so entertained by them constantly. And so on February 2nd of 1992, I came to Jesus, and I surrendered my life to him. And there's no way I knew what I was getting into. I didn't know. I didn't know at that time that that I was going to do music at all. It wasn't really, that's not what I was putting my time into. It was skateboarding. And then when I had the opportunity to be involved in this youth group and to be there, I was there every time the doors opened. We also, the building is gone now, so I can say this, and it's been a lot of years, but we used to break into the fellowship hall and microwave hot dogs like every night. We didn't damage anything, not the lock, not the whatever. We would keep a little nail above the door and just whatever. Sorry, First Baptist Church of Lowell, for telling that. But we loved it, and we wanted to be there at all times. We would break in. I say break in. They should have given us a key, but they didn't know we were in there every night. But we would go in, and we would play foosball in the basement until 2 and 3 in the morning. They started to let us, we had this youth group type band. They let us practice there, which was a mistake too, because we would never leave. But at the age of 19 is when I felt like God was calling me to do something with this music thing and to do it legitimate. And like, hey, start a band and tell people that I love them and I have a plan for their life. And I'm like, that's really amazing. And I have no business being able to be in a band. I have no business being able to stand right here tonight and do this. It's purely by the grace of Jesus. That is it. And I think the quicker that, I think the quicker that we just look at it and be like, you know what, God, what can I do? Like, I surrender my life to you. Let's do it. I think when we look at that, it's the quicker that we can get started in what it is that God created us for. And, it just happens to be me here playing songs 22 years after the band started, and it's so weird. It's so weird that I get to do this. Anyway, earlier when the sun was going down, wherever the sun goes down here, I don't know which direction I'm facing, but the windows were glowing brighter on that side. So I'm going to look at it as like that's probably the west or something. And it made me think of this song that I believe that when this person wrote this song, they were probably looking through my eyes, and they were looking at God's creation, and they were looking at the language that I feel like God speaks to me the loudest is during his sunrise, his sunset, just his creation. And knowing that God makes every sunrise different, every wave in the ocean different, every star, everything. His creation is incredible. And not only all that, but each single person in this room was created so different and so amazing. And God does not make mistakes. At times we think he does. At times we're like, we don't understand what's going on. We might spend a time in confusion or anger or bitterness. But God's not surprised by what you're dealing with in your life. And he loves you. And he has built you for what you're dealing with. And his grace will cover it all. And this is a song that I wish I had written. But Jesus and I have had conversations about it. He knows how I feel. A little upset. Anyway, here's it's a song by a guy named Sean McDonald. So. As I look into the stars, pondering how far away they are, how you hold them in your hands. Still you know this man. You know my innermost being, oh, even better than I know myself. What a beautiful God. What a beautiful God. What am I that I might be called your child? What am I? What am I that you might know me, my King? What am I? What am I? What am I? As I look off into the distance, watching the sun roll on by, beautiful colors all around me, oh, painted all over the sky. The same hands that created all of this, they created you and I. What a beautiful God. What a beautiful God. What am I that I might be called your child? What am I? What am I that you might know me, my King? What am I? What am I that you might die, that I might live? What am I? 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 You understand why I'm upset? I feel like that was literally, I was looking at the most beautiful sunset ever. And God showed up. He's sitting there beside me, and he gave me the words. I wrote it down. He gave me the melodies, told me what chords to play. He's like, all right, there you go. See you later. But it wasn't that case. Again, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for opening up your doors, opening up your family, for me to be here and to get to know some of my extended family a little more before the day that we spend eternity with our brother Billy Graham and all those who came before him. And so cool. Like because of being near Waco, Texas, and conversation that I had earlier about Crowder, it made me think of Crowder's Instagram post the day Billy Graham passed away, and he said, I can only imagine the celebration that's happening right now in heaven. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And someone asked me, they asked me, it was last night, no, it was yesterday during the day, a friend of mine that I hadn't talked to in a little while, I called him up, bugged him at work, talked to him for way too long at work, and I was talking about Billy Graham, and he's like, do you think that Billy got any kind of special treatment when he entered heaven? And think about that for a second. Do you think that Billy Graham, who effectively communicated the gospel to millions and millions of people over the course of his 99 years on this earth. And you're like, do you think he got any special treatment? I'm like, absolutely not. All of us are going to get the same greeting and the same welcome. Thank you so much for that. When we enter heaven, and it's going to be Jesus losing his mind. And like, you're finally here. Like, yes. And when you think of that, when you think of all of these people that have influenced your life and encouraged you in your faith, at your deepest, darkest, most troubling times, they were there to encourage you to dig deeper, to keep going, to keep looking to Jesus, and to embrace that hope that only Jesus can offer. Think of those people, and think of those people that you have known throughout your life who are now gone, and they're in heaven now, right? And you think of that, and you're like, I am so glad I got to know that person, and I got to experience that faith from that person that I could trust, and that I loved, and who dealt with real things in this life. But yet their hope was in Jesus. And the next song I'm going to play is a song that was a difficult song to write in so many ways. But it was a song that, what an honor to be able to put words together and melodies together to tell the story of a man named Billy Sprouse from Kingston, Oklahoma, who was dealing with leukemia, he volunteered at his church in the production. He would help run sound and lights, and married, had a daughter, teenage daughter, all this stuff. And like, you hear stories about this guy, Billy, who's like, he's dealing with leukemia and he's in and out of treatment, and his example of what strength based on Jesus Christ was, he was like, oh man, you know what, it's all good. As long as I've got air in these lungs, I'm going to proclaim Jesus to whoever I'm around. And like, I heard stories about this guy for a year, right? I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, he seems like he's straight out of a Bible story. I'm like, he's a Paul. Like, I'm like, that's pretty amazing and maybe a little too good to be true, right? When you're hearing this stuff. And I played in Kingston, Oklahoma one night, and as I was playing and noticing there was literally like 7 state troopers sitting in the front row in their uniforms, I'm like, why are they here? What, did they follow me into town? Like, what, you know? I'm like, kind of nervous, but yet I'm like, they're not saying anything. And so I play this acoustic set, and I know that I'm in the town that Billy is from, and I'd heard the legacy of Billy, and you know, at the end of the show, like, I get done and I head down the hallway, and I'm on my way to merch, and I get halfway through the sanctuary, and this guy is walking up. He's like, Matt Baird. I'm like, no way, because I thought Billy was supposed to be in treatment in Houston, right? I'm like, Billy Sprouse. He's like, hey, man, hey, I tell you what, your music. I'm like, no, we are not talking about me. I'm like, dude, your story is amazing. He's like, oh, you know, it's all good. It's, you know, it's. I'm like, so cool, right? Like, he's real. He's like, he's real. And he's like, as long as God wants me here, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to talk about the hope of Jesus. I'm like, you're so cool. It's unreal. So I go on, and like a couple weeks later, I'm driving through beautiful Arizona in the morning, and the sun's coming up, and I'm looking back and trying to look at this sunrise. I'm trying to see God's creation. I'm trying to stay off the rumble strips because I got a band full of dudes asleep in the back. And I'm like, I have this song idea pop into my head, and I'm trying to sing into my phone quietly without looking like a complete psycho. If one of the guys sits up, I'm like, what are you doing, man? And I'm trying to capture this, and it's a song that is based off of Billy's life, you know? And I'm trying to put notes in my phone and be safe. Don't text and drive. All this stuff, and I'm trying to sing this into my song, my phone. And anyway, I got a verse and a chorus idea, and I was able to send it to Billy. I'm like, dude, hey, just letting you know this song's inspired by you. He's like, oh, man, Matt, that's so cool. That's great, whatever. Anyway, Billy passed away probably about 6 months after that phone call, and I felt it to be right to finish that song And so I'm gonna play this song, and if there's someone in your life who has inspired you in your faith, and they have spurred you on when you didn't want to be spurred on, and they called you up like, hey, just wanting to give you some encouragement, or you get a random text message from that person, whatever it is, or maybe it's someone who they give you a hug every time you see them. I want you to tell them thank you tonight. I want you to go to them and be like, thank you so much for what you do, because you have no idea what it means to me. And this song is, I believe that if I was sitting face-to-face with Billy 5 minutes before he went to be with Jesus, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? How you feeling? What's going on? I believe that this song is probably word for word of what he would say. And I think it paints a beautiful picture. And so this song is, it's called Heaven by Tonight. You could have heard a pin drop when they walked into the room. She said she felt her heart stop when they gave her the news. It's just a matter of time, and there's nothing that we can do. It's just a matter of time, there's no question why he's asking for you. And he says, in a heartbeat, a second, a blink of an eye, I'll be home alive and by his side. Don't you waste a single moment to cry, 'cause I'll be just fine. The burdens I've carried for all of these years, tears that I've cried will disappear. I'll be singing with angels there by his side, 'cause I'll be in heaven by tonight. I've heard a lot of heartbreak, and I've seen a lot of tears, but oh, I have to wonder, what would he say if he were here? It's just a matter of time, there's nothing that we can do. Tired, weathered, and worn, and he's still holding on to what he knows is true. In a heartbeat, a second, a blink of an eye, I'll be home alive by his side. Don't you waste a single moment to cry, 'cause I'll be just fine. The burdens I've carried for all of these years, tears that I've cried will disappear. I'll be singing with angels there by his side, 'cause I'll be in heaven by tonight. Heaven by tonight. Heaven by tonight. I can hear the angels, I can see heaven open wide, I can see the Savior. I can hear the angels, I can see heaven open wide, I can see the Savior. Right there by his side. Right there by your side. So there are times when God will give you a song, and it makes you feel something every time you play it, you know. And I'm going to play one more song, and then I'll be hanging out. As long as you want to hang out. If that song makes you think of someone, let them know. Let them know the impact that they have had in your life. Let them know that you mean the world to them. And beyond that, maybe there's the opportunity for you to be that someone to someone else. For you to be that strength. For you to be that comfort. To you to be that example of Jesus. I'm going to play this last song. Maybe you've been in a confusing state for a day, for a week, for a month, or maybe your whole life has been something that you just don't understand. And maybe you're to a point where you have no more words. You don't know what else to pray. You don't know what else to say to God because you are at your wit's end and you feel like He is not listening. Or maybe it's just something where you're just at this point of where you're like, what am I supposed to do? And maybe it's the desire for a loved one to come upon who Jesus is and to know Jesus. Or maybe it's stuff that you're dealing with your job. Maybe it's stuff you're dealing with at school. Maybe it's with your friends. Maybe you just don't feel like you are good enough. I'll go back to what I said earlier. God does not make mistakes. God knows you. He loves you. He has a plan for your life. And this is it's a newer song. It's not recorded yet. But I feel like it's the start to what maybe God is wanting me to say in future songs. And this was a song that it's written from here. It's what I was dealing with and what I'm positive I'll deal with again because I'm a human being living in a broken world. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't even know who I am anymore. All I know is I can't take it. All I know is I can't fake it anymore. I am far too close to breaking, and I don't think I can take it anymore. I need a miracle, something to help me through the night, a way to help me see the light, a hand that I can hold on to. Only you can help me through the night. I'll follow you into the light. You are my miracle tonight. I wanna forget the pain, I wanna live in the truth. 'Cause I can't take the way I feel inside. This man I've been just can't be right. So I'll fight. All I know is I can't take it. All I know is I can't make it anymore. I am far too close to breaking, and I don't think I can take it anymore. I need need a miracle, something to help me through the night, a way to help me see the light, a hand that I can hold on to. Only you can help me through the night. I follow you into the light. You are my miracle tonight. I'm giving up my pride. Tonight I'm asking for another try. Tonight I'm trading in this pain, 'cause I believe the words you say, and you are a way to help me through the night, a way to help me see the light, a hand that I can hold on to. Only you can help me through the night. I follow you into the light. You are my miracle tonight. Thank you so much.
Hold it right there. Hold it.